got my henna routine for you guys today. I know I've been saying for a long time I'm going to do it. I finally did it. I've been using henna for about 6 years now, and I started using it because of a reaction to a semi-permanent, I think it was, commercial chemical dye, and it was, I don't remember the brand, but it was, you know, your typical over-the-counter. And let me just say this, I want to preface this whole thing on the fact that I had a reaction. I knew. It doesn't matter whether you're at a salon or if you're using over-the-counter dyes, chemical dyes. They can each carry what is called PPD, paraphenylene diamine, and it also goes by like 7 or 8 other chemical compound names, and there are derivatives of it. That was the danger, and that is out there. It is in these products. So the henna that I found after doing, oh my gosh, months of research was through Mahandi.com, which is Ancient Sunrise. And their leader, so to speak, the head of the company, Catherine, she advocates all over the country for use of henna as a hair dye as opposed to chemical dyes. And she gets into the, you know, the horrors of a PPD allergic reaction, which actually in certain cases can be fatal. Mine, I just got, my ear blew up, and I got these red raised welt bumps type things, like boils, all over the back of my neck, and it burned my hairline, so I lost some hair. And that wasn't even a permanent dye, that was the semi-permanent dye. So I did a ton of research. I was quite shaken. Came across Ancient Sunrise, and they lab test everything, so there are no chemicals whatsoever, certainly no PPD. And then I spoke with their customer care representative to find out what blend I would need to make my dark brunette. I wanted to share this with you because to me it was exciting. I mean, I love it. It's earthy, it's crunchy, you can play around with the colors. So I needed to match, you know, like I was saying, I need to match my dark brunette. So I use a combination of the Rajasthani Twilight and Zekhara Indigo. There are so many different ways that you can do henna, and their customer service reps are amazing. No, I'm not paid by them, I'm not sponsored by them, I just believe in what they're doing. And I've had great experience with their products. And to be honest, they're the only ones I trust to this point. I am not aware of anybody else that lab certifies and lab tests every batch of their henna to ensure the purity. So, so I show you the demo. I'm about to do my hair today. I wash my hair, so I will come back and you will see it when I'm about to put the application. So I am at the point where, if you can see my roots right now, I typically dye my hair or my roots every other weekend. I'm going to read to you what it says on the website from Mahandi.com. I chose the Rajasthani Twilight and the Zekhara Indigo because of the fact that they are so good for covering gray hairs. It says, Twilight is the best henna powder for gray hair. This organic henna will color graying hair a rich auburn color. Even if you're dyeing resistant gray hair, Twilight has you covered. This body art quality henna is a great sift for easy application and easy rinsing. If your hair is medium to dark in color, you will achieve deeper auburn tones. I did do this where I applied much more Rajasthani, and I did get a very rich, beautiful auburn tone, and I did get a lot of compliments on it, but I didn't feel quite like me, so I wanted to just keep playing with stuff and my mixtures and see what I could find that would match my, you know, the dark I was used to seeing myself in. But it was fun to try that red, and I even think about going back to it, and it's easy enough just to swap out. The great thing about henna is it doesn't leave your hair. You never have to dye your hair. You only have to do the roots, which I am at right now, 3 weeks into this. Usually I do it every other weekend, but this week I let it go, I bumped it out, and now I can really see that gray streak, and I don't like it. It's coming in down around here, and I have this one spot back here that just is super resistant, and it takes, that's the one that'll start seeing it go first, and then I'm like, here we go, get ready, you need to apply more. So, but where I'm at right now is probably 1 week too late. It's all grown in a little bit longer. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it on the camera, but it's, you know, it's there. It's a gray streak through the center of my hair, and you'll see when I'm applying it, you have to do it in 1/4-inch sections, and you section it off in each one. And you know, it's funny because I'll be looking in the mirror, I'll go, slap a whole bunch on that one part, you know, and then I move down here, I'm like, slap a whole bunch more on that part. So when you're mixing it, it turns into like a paste, which you'll see, and it's kind of lumpy, but then it smooths out after the dye release. It takes about 8 to 12 hours for the dye to fully release at room temperature, so I make mine in the evening. Usually I leave it out overnight, and then in the morning time I will separate portions of it, equal portions of it, into baggies, and leave the one application that I'm going to use. You need to use that within 3 days, and so I will typically do that one the same night, or if I can't get to it, I just put it in the fridge and I leave it for when I can get to it. In the meantime, the other portions that I've set in baggies go into the freezer. So you need to mix your henna, which I'll show you, with the citric acid juice, and they do offer them, different ones, through the website. I have not tried any of those. I have used a lemon, half of a lemon. I squeeze it out into it, and then to get the consistency of the paste that you want, I use water, distilled water, to fill it in. I even broke away from that, and I've been using my tap water, but I will go back to using distilled water. I do feel like there's a little bit of a difference. I can't really describe it. It's a slight, maybe it's slightly in how much it sticks to the gray, or the tone that it gives the grays, but I feel better when I actually follow the true directions. I'm not going to be a rebel and use tap water. For $1, for a gallon, that's all it is. It's just, for me, it's not the money, it's getting out to the store and getting it. So I want to read to you what they say about the indigo now. I just read to you the Rajasthani Twilight, and then indigo is actually not even a henna, it's another plant powder. Zekhara Indigo, sometimes referred to indigo henna or black henna for hair, is not henna but partially fermented, dried and powdered organic Indigo tinctoria leaves. This organic powder is the best indigo hair dye for gray hair. So again, I'm mixing, you know, I want the best of both dyes so that I make sure it's all sticking. It can be used with cassia henna or a henna mix to create different shades of blonde, red, brown, or black hair. Using indigo alone may result in blue hair. I did mix also in one of the times I was trying to figure out, I did mix too much indigo in, and I ended up with a green hue on certain sections of my hair wherever I had put it on there more strongly. So then I just tapered it back. I mean, it's easy enough to play around with. Even if you're dyeing resistant gray hair, this product will cover beautifully. The fine sift will rinse nicely out of fragile hair and kinky curly hair without breakage. That's another thing that's so important. And I will do my long hair care video because somebody requested it. And I'll show you what I use for my products. Again, I have you know, a different texture to my hair where it's curly and wavy, and so I'll show you how I set that too. Straighten it, sometimes I straighten it, you know, whatever I feel like doing for the day. Okay, so those are the two that I combine together. So I wash my hair. I don't use any oils or conditioners. You can't use anything that's going to coat your hair before you apply your henna mix, or henna or indigo or whatever it is that you're using for the plant-based dyes. So I will get out of the shower, I towel dry it carefully, then I let it air dry for probably about 15-20 minutes, just so it's not soaking wet, and then I begin to section it off in 1/4-inch sections and begin to pat the paste on. After which you'll see all of this, but and then you wrap it up in a plastic bag, stick a hat on your head, and go chill or do whatever you want, read a book, work on your computer, do yard work, housework, whatever you want for the next 3 to 3.5 hours. Yep, I've even gone out in public. The other thing I wanted to say about, you know, the owners of Mahandi.com or Ancient Sunrise is that they are very educated in what they do. You know I love the research and the chemical information on all things. So they have information available, documentation on their website, which talks about, you know, the purity of their henna and why they are so passionate about pulling people away from chemical dyes and using henna, plant-based dyes. And I will tell you that after my experience, I was terrified. It really did traumatize me. I was really upset too, because I thought there was no option for me and I would have to go gray, and at that point I really didn't want to go gray. Maybe I'll be fine with going gray in another who knows when, but for now I do like to cover my grays. So they really provide excellent customer care service. I did speak with a customer care representative many times about how to achieve the color and the tone that I was looking for. They're extremely helpful. I will pay whatever it is for shipping and whatever nominal increase it is in my mind for their products, because they're the only ones that I know of that are lab certified, tested, and pure and true. And so, and what they have listed for their features are no PPD, which is the paraphenylene-diamine, no contaminants, adulterants, or pesticide residue. Organic indigo for hair. Oh, this is the Zekhara Indigo one that I'm reading. So for the Zekhara one, which is pretty much the same for all of them, they have no PPD, the paraphenylene-diamine, no contaminants, adulterants, or pesticide residue. Organic indigo for hair, permanent hair dye, best indigo powder for hair type 3B to hair type 4C, and they have another coating where you can realize your hair type. Best indigo for gray, ethically sourced, professional organic hair product, cruelty-free and vegan-free. Yes, 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 yes. For the Rajasthani Twilight, it's basically the same features. Restores health and shine to hair, best henna hair for resistant grays. Of course, no PPDs, no lead, no any of the other stuff. 100% organic hair color, sustainably sourced, ethically sourced, professional organic hair, cruelty-free and vegan-friendly. Yes, so because of the purity, I have established a trust with this product, and I have been using it for 6 years, so I freely offer my experience and information to you about using this as a source for if you are deciding to use henna or a plant-based dye. Okay, I'm going to go jump in the shower, clarify my hair, and you'll see in the meantime I have the demo of mixing the henna. You don't mix the Zekhara until you're ready to apply it. You cannot pre-mix this. It will not work. So when I am all set and ready to apply it, I'll bring you back in the bathroom with me and we'll get busy sectioning and pasting my hair. I'll see you guys soon. This is my setup for when I am getting ready to mix my henna. The two types of henna that I used as I described are the Zekhara Indigo and the Rajasthani Twilight. This is the red-based henna. This is the indigo that mixes with the Rajasthani Twilight, and that's how I get my dark color. It did take me a lot of practice to discover which tone, the warmth, the depth of the brunette that I wanted to match my natural hair color. And sometimes I play around, and I can go either a little bit more red or a little bit more brown. So I have my water here, which is room temperature water, my mixing bowl. You have to mix it with a citric juice. They have juices on their website. You can use cranberry juice. There's a bunch of different juices. I find that I like the tone that I get with a lemon. So you need a couple tablespoons of that. What I do is I cut it in half, and I usually just wring out the entire half inside on top of the Rajasthani Twilight, and then I fill in the rest with water, as you'll see, because I'm going to demonstrate that. And I'm going to just snip off the top of this. I'll show you what it looks like, and then I can start mixing with the lemon and then the water. So this is my Twilight, my Rajasthani Twilight. So it comes double wrapped. It comes in this foil pouch, and inside is the powder pouch, the plant powder. Looks like that. I just kind of tap it all down, and then I snip off that. I am using the entire packet because what I do is make one large batch, and then I break it down into smaller bags. So that's the powder, and that's what it looks like. It's very fine, powder, very powdery powder. Okay, so now I take my lemon and I slice this in half. Forgot my knife. Okay, so I just go right down the center for half a lemon. And then I don't concern myself with the seeds. There are some seeds in this. Actually, I'm going to use this one. So, and I just start squeezing. You want probably, let's see, that's probably about 3 to 4 tablespoons that I mix mine with. I do get it really squeezed out as I rotate around the lemon. It is not the easiest thing to do. I do have a lemon squeezer too, but I don't use it. Not a lemon squeezer, I'm sorry, a lemon twister, a citrus twister. It's right down here below me. It's that little guy that attaches to a base, and it also takes out the seeds. The only thing you want to be careful with the seeds in here, if you can get them out, that's great, do it. Because you don't want them going down your drain in your shower when you rinse these off. And then I make sure I scrape it along the edge of the bowl just to make sure I'm getting all the juice I can out of this half of a lemon. Okay, so my lemon is pretty parched. Most of my seeds are at the top, as you can see right here. So I'm going to just delicately scoop those out. I don't want to remove my powder. I'm just going to grab as many as I can, and if I can't get them, then oh well. So I give that a slight mix, and then I start with my water. The consistency that you want your henna to be is mashed potato-like, or like a really thick Greek yogurt. So I add it little by little. I started with over a cup. I do not have a direct measurement with this because it all kind of depends on how much lemon you get squeezed as well. So I just, as I'm mixing it, it's starting to get a little chunky. So I'm going to add some more water. I'm going to bring you over here so you can have a view from up above. And this is what it looks like at this point. Still very dry, hard to move around. I'm going to pour some more water in there. You want to add it little by little because you definitely do not want your henna runny. You want it to have a thicker consistency to set. So right now I have just over a cup of water in here along with my lemon juice, and it's starting to get that good moist, chunky kind of texture to it, which I know still needs more blending. So I'm going to set the camera down for a minute. It's hard to do it with one hand. Let me see what I can do here. It's really coming together nicely. You can see how thick that is. And we want to break apart some of those big chunks to make sure you're really blending the powder in well. Sorry, here we go. Yeah, I just need a little bit more, like maybe another tablespoon or 2 of water. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hey, I went and grabbed just a pinch more of water. There is probably, let's see, it says it's at about 1.5 ounces. 1 ounce, I think. It's at 1 ounce. 1 more ounce, but I'm only going to put in about half of that. Again, because I'm getting near to the point where I know it's going to be of the consistency I need it. That mashed potato consistency, and I don't want to overdo it because runny henna is just not easy to work with. And once you put in too much, there's no way to combat that unless you want to open up another whole package and dump some in. So you want to try to be as accurate with your measurements as possible. Okay, it's looking good. This is a couple good hard whips, and that's about where I leave it. It looks like that. So it's it moves. It's all over my thumb. Some of you may want to use gloves while you're mixing this because it will stain your hands. I know that if I rinse it off quickly, it doesn't really linger on my skin. Okay, so we have this. Here we go. That's it right there. Chunky but smooth and very creamy. It has a little resistance when you stir it, but it's also very fluid and it moves nicely. Okay, so my Zekhara, the indigo, is for when I'm ready to apply it to my hair. Until then, I leave this in the pouch. I just wanted to show it to you so that you see the two that I work with. So now that I have it all mixed to my desired consistency and color, which looks like smashed cooked spinach or something, and it has a really earthy aroma too. It's very it smells as natural as it is, and so that's very pleasant to me. And then I divide it into, again, I don't measure, I know about the size of the chunk that I want in here, and I will separate it into 6 bags. Actually, I'm going to separate it into 5 bags. I'm going to leave one application in the bowl because I will be doing it to my hair tonight. So I am going to portion out equal portions and I try to get it right into the corner of my baggie. I have not yet, after 4 years of this, really found a better way to do it. Some people do it in ice cube trays. They freeze it, because I do freeze this. So some people put it into ice cube trays, and that is recommended. My camera lens went all fuzzy again, so I'm going to back it up. I got 3 bags done. I portion it out into the corner section of my bag. I try not to get it all over the bag because you don't want to lose any of that. Do it a little bit more like that. So I might have to go back and kind of equal these out a little bit better. So I'm doing I usually do 5 bags, and then 1 application will stay in the bowl because that's the one that I do that night. So I'm at 3, and here's my 4, and then you got to go back and add a little more sometimes. Okay, so I want to leave my portion about that much in the bowl for my application for tonight. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for now, I'm going to place a cover saran wrap on this. You do need to let this sit for about 8 hours, 8 to 12 hours. So I will leave this on the counter and see you guys in a bit.